All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakaha, Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another GMS on the job being brought to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Once again, I'm at the plantation, busting my ass, blood, sweat, and tears just to make ends meet. But while I am at the plantation doing the physical work, I am also doing the spiritual work by providing a gourmet meal in the form of edification to the Lord's elect that they may be filled. So I wanted to do a response video to a video that was uploaded by the beloved brother Manak Zagba from South Carolina. As you see right here, his YouTube channel is GMS South Carolina 08. And what I'm going to be responding to are these jakes that you see on this video right here. Okay. All these jakes who are all in the spirit of have fun. You know, we're doing exciting things. What are you other Hebrew Israelite camps out there doing? Okay, and if you're in the spirit of, you know, going out on cruises, vacations, going to clubs, partying, you're going to house parties, you're in the wrong spirit. Okay, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Okay. Now, before I get this in 1 Timothy 5 and 6, let's go. I would like to go to the book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. To everything, there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Okay, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up. Okay, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. You know, a time to weep and a time to laugh. Okay, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Are we in the time to be dancing? Dancing is something you usually doing. Dancing is something you usually do when you celebrate, when you're rejoicing over a victory or whatever, you know. Dancing has always been synonymous with celebrations, partying, rejoicing, laughter, mirth. Are we in the time to be dancing? The answer is no. Okay. The message from the Lord's prophets is that the wolf is coming, man. The wolf is coming, and he's coming to devour the sheep. But what are our people doing? They're ignoring the message. They're pretending like we don't exist. Okay, they're walking past us. They're fanning their hand. They're mocking. They're jesting. They're making jokes about us. They're taking turns coming up with new names to call us. Meanwhile, they have no idea that what they're doing is the same thing that was happening during the time of Noah. Because during the time of Noah, people were in these exact type of mindsets. While Noah was out there building the ark, gathering the wood, the nails, gathering all of the equipment to build the ship that would be the salvation for him and his family, the rest of the people were eating and drinking, which I'm going to get into eating and drinking later on in this video. So for now, let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Now, the she here, okay, first and foremost, is talking about, you know, the Israelite woman, you know, because we all know that women love pleasure. They love to, you know, delve into folly and all kind of bullshit that profit not to salvation. But you can also apply 1 Timothy 5 verse 6 to the nation of Israel. Because when you go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 6 verse 2, what did Jeremiah say concerning Israel? I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So Israel is likened unto a woman who has been espoused to Yahawashai. Okay? So you got the Israel of the devil, which is the 2/3 of our people, and then you have the Israel of the Most High, which is the elect. Okay? So 1 Timothy 5 verse 6, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. So 2/3 of our people are living in pleasure. They're living after the manner of their folly, their wickedness, their iniquities, and they're going to get caught up in that. Okay? And like it tells you in the book of Proverbs, right? Chapter 20, the 21st chapter, he that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Our people are in the congregation of the dead. And a part of that... Hey, by the way, I'm looking for like one of them small black hangers. You know, like for these, you know where I can find them?
Oh, like the shoe ones.
Yeah. I've seen one on that shelf, but I don't see it there no more.
I don't know if we have a surplus of them saved. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, because I don't see any.
I know what you're talking about.
All right. I apologize for the interruption. I got interrupted by one of my store managers. She was looking for somebody, but, you know, what can you do about it? But, you know, as I was saying before, okay, Israel is likened unto a woman. As Paul told our people, we have been espoused to one husband. That husband is Yahawashai. Okay, Yahawashai, that is our husband. You know, as a nation of people, that is our husband, and that is who we have been espoused to. So according to Jeremiah 6:2, okay, the daughter of Zion, which is the nation of Israel, have been likened unto a comely and delicate woman. So when the scriptures say that in 1 Timothy 5 and 6, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth, you can also apply that to the nation of Israel, because you got the Israel of the 2/3. Okay, the Israel of the devil, according to John 8 verse 44, which will be the 2/3 of our people. And then you got the Israel of the Most High, which will be the elect, the house of David, the lively stones, the remnant, and as you can clearly see, the 2/3 of our people are caught up into the pleasures of this world. Especially as you see in this video right here, you know, okay, you can clearly see our people is in a mindset of mirth, a mindset of, you know, excitement. Let's just enjoy life and blah, 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 you know. You know, this Hebrew Israelite thing of this Hebrew Israelite thing is boring and blah, 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 and, you know, they're completely in the wrong mindset. You know, if you've awoken to this truth, your mindset should be in a house of mourning. Okay? Because when Yahushua returns, he's not coming back to deliver those who are down here in a party-like mindset. You know, he's not coming back to deliver those that are in the mindset of clubbing, going to amusement parks, going to vacation spots, having fiestas, parties, house parties. He's not coming back to deliver those. He's coming back to deliver those according to Ezekiel 9:4. Okay, set a mark upon the forehead of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Here it is. The earth is becoming weaker through age. According to 2nd Esdras, the 14th chapter, the air is constantly polluted, being destroyed. Ozone layer of the air being destroyed by chemicals, geoengineering. The water is being destroyed by fluoride, microcosmic shrimp, chemicals, nuclear waste. The oceans, the marine life is being destroyed by metals, nuclear waste, plastic, garbage, miles and miles worth of garbage, causing sea creatures to beach themselves. Sea creatures are dying in the oceans for a lack of oxygen in the oceans. You know, you got trash everywhere. Okay, the food is all messed up. Okay, the food that you're eating is not even food anymore. It's drugs. You're eating drugs. That's why you get all tired and shit right after you eat a sub or right after you eat some chicken. You know, you feel all tired. You want to lay down. You don't want to do shit. You know? Then they put all this entertainment and all this bullshit in front of you. Like football, basketball. Okay? To constantly keep your mind occupied on folly. You know? There should be a major outcry by our nation against what is happening to the earth, to wildlife, to the animals, creatures, insects, and just life in general. But instead of there being an outcry, there is a shout of mirth and joy, rejoicing, excitement, and adventure. Not knowing that this same adventure, this same journey they go on can also be their last. So let's come over here and let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7. Okay, forgive me. Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 1. A good name is better than precious ointment in the day of one's death than the day of one's birth. Did you hear that? Because you got people who like to celebrate birthdays too, man. You know, happy birthday! But the scriptures say that the day of one's death is better than the day of one's birth. You know? The scriptures tell you that. And it's really applying to the nation of Israel, because when we were sent back here on the earth via reincarnation, we were not sent back here on the planet Earth in our blessing. We were sent back down to the planet Earth. We were sent back here on the planet Earth under the curses of Deuteronomy 28 verse 15 on down to 68. We were born under the curses, in captivity under our oppressors, our enemies. So what the fuck do you mean happy birthday? Man, motherfucker birthday. Talking about a happy birthday because your black ass was born in this society without any physical chains being on your ankles, your wrists, without a yoga iron being on your neck. You think you was born free? Nah, man, you was born a mental slave. You was born outside of your heritage. You was born being blind to who you really are according to the Holy Scriptures. Because, you know, Esau allows you to buy a Christmas tree, put presents underneath it. He allows you to celebrate his holidays, Halloween. You know, he allows you to celebrate so-called Thanksgiving. You think you're free. You're not free. You need a driver's license in order to own a car, in order to rent one. You're not free. This is not the land of the free. You was born a slave here, man. Just look at your birth certificate. Okay? That's basically certification that you are a slave to the so-called elites of this society. Okay? Nigga, you ain't free. You was never born free in this society. But again, freedom is the illusion that was given our people. Whew. Okay. I just came back from the plantation. Now I'm about to go clock in at my next plantation soon. But verse 2, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. Okay, when you're in the house of mourning, you understand that when you have this knowledge, because the scriptures tell you, let's just get it real quick. The scriptures tell you, he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow, right? But wait a minute. Our people hate knowledge, according to the book of Proverbs, the 1st chapter, right? Our people hate knowledge. You know what? I won't be able to get it there because my internet is, I don't have internet. So what I can do is not you. Okay. Okay. He that increaseth. I know it's in the me just. Oh, here it is. Hey, the water Yahweh for allowing me to find it. Okay, here it is. Ecclesiastes 1 verse 18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. Okay, let me read that again. Ecclesiastes 1 verse 18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. Okay, so because our people hate knowledge, right? They don't understand how the world is really supposed to be in. They don't understand the real condition that the earth is supposed to be in. Our people think that it's okay for the earth to be sprayed with chemtrails, not knowing that the chemtrails are affecting them every single day. And it's not only affecting them, it's affecting their children, their babies, their parents, their grandparents, their uncles, their aunties, their cousins, their nephews, their nieces. It's affecting everybody, your brother, your sisters. It's affecting everybody. The chemtrails is killing you. It's shortening your lifespan. You know, they think it's okay for cars to be driving around every day, not knowing that the cars that you see going up and down the street every day, they're polluting the very air you breathe. They're cutting off oxygen from the air. And then you still got deforestation going on. Esau chopping down trees by the miles just to set up new businesses, corporations, supercomputer stations, secret underground facilities. You see, that's not normal, man. Trees give off oxygen, life. But that's being taken away. Why? For businesses and corporations. You know, there should be an outcry against everything that's going on, man. You know, the Bible says that we're supposed to be above every nation on the planet. But our people are okay with being under a Arab at a corner store, selling them Twinkies and Ho-Hos and Debbie snacks, potato chips and cigarettes and Lucy's. They're okay with that. We're supposed to be above every nation on the planet, man. You know, we don't have our own army, but our people are okay with that, you know. Well, we got the so-called white man's, well, the so-called white man's army belongs to the Edomites. Esau only allows you to join his army because you are expendable to him. You're just a expendable Negro. Oops, did I say too much? It is what it is, man. Okay, these devils don't give a flying fuck about you niggas. And that's what we've been telling you niggas, man. Esau don't care about y'all. But again, the scriptures say our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. So the Lord has rejected our people. That's why our people don't know what's really, you know, our people don't know how things are really supposed to be, man. A man is supposed to be over a woman, but our people are okay with a woman having authority equal to them or being over them. Our people are okay with that. So let's go back. Okay, Ecclesiastes 7 verse 2. It is better to go into the house of mourning than to go into the house of feasting. You know, so if you've woken up to this truth and you're in your right mind, you're going to be in the house of mourning. You're not going to be okay with how the earth is being maintained. You're not going to be okay with that. Okay? You're not going to be okay with, you know, you're not going to be okay with breathing in chemtrails every day. You're not going to be okay with a woman having authority over you if you're an Israelite man. You're not going to be okay with breathing in polluted air from vehicles. You're not going to be okay with the marine life, fishes, whales, you know, octopuses, sharks. Okay, lawful fishes beaching themselves, two heads, mutated. You're not going to be okay with that, man. You're not going to be okay with miles of trash being in the oceans. You're not going to be okay with the wildlife being experimented on, you know. You're not going to be okay with the Edomites having rule over you, man. You're just not going to be okay with that. You see, you're not going to be okay with that. So it is better to go into the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For the house of feasting is what? For the house of feasting is the end of all man. It's the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. So the house of feasting is the end of all men. You see that? So if your mindset is in a house of feasting, you're going to be focused on joy. You're going to be focused on going to vacations, partying, house parties, going to Six Flags, Dave & Buster's, laser tag. You know, you're going to be focused on all of these different things that you can go to in Esau society, you know. And the scriptures speak about in 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, and that knowing that measure thou the time diligently in itself, man. You know, if you're an Israelite, you're supposed to be measuring the time diligently in itself. But nah, our people ain't gonna do that, you know. That's too good for a nigga. You see? That's too good for a nigga. You know, sorrow is better than laughter. What did you see in this video for the most part? You seen laughter, right? You know, the nigga jumping up and down and shit, the nigga woman and the nigga too, man. He was jumping up and down. Yay, we get to go to the Bahamas. Woo-ah! Well, look, man, the Most High set your black ass up to get eaten by an alligator while you're at the Bahamas, you know? Your ass to be running down the street yelling, alligator, alligator, oh, someone help me. Okay? Because the Lord is a terrible power, man. But you see, our people are going to learn to fear Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay? Y'all going to learn to fear, man. You don't fear the Lord now, but just you wait, man. The Lord's got your number. Okay? Sorrow is better than laughter. For by the sadness of the countenance of the heart is made better. And when you go into that word heart, it goes back to the Hebrew word lab, which means your mind. Okay? So the mind is made better. You see that? Okay? Okay? The heart of the wise is in a house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in a house of mirth. So our people are fools, and fools hate knowledge. They are sottish children. They have not known Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Because had you known Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, you would know to be in a house of mourning, not a house of feasting. Because Jacob's trouble is knocking at the door and is getting ready to Sparta kick down the door. And you're over here talking about going to the Bahamas. Your mind is not right, man. Your mind is not right with Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And we're telling you, if you don't come back to the Lord, you're going to get caught up in Jacob's trouble. And there ain't going to be nothing you can do to escape it. Who would leave that there? Anyways. Okay, let's read Ecclesiastes 7 verse 1 in the NLT. Oh, right. I can't because I don't have internet connection. Well, okay. So let's hold on. My Bibles. Let's just go back to the KJV for now. Last scripture I'm going to get Matthew's. Let's go to Matthew's chapter 24 verse 37. Okay. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking. And I always bring this out. Eating and drinking is synonymous with partying. Being in that mirth-like, joyous, rejoiceful spirit. Okay? That's what the mirth is talking about. That's what eating and drinking is talking about. Because that happens at every party. At every party, there's always food there. There's always wine. There's always liquor. There's always beer. Okay? And that's at every party. And don't tell me it's not, because when I was in the world, every party that I've been to or witnessed had liquor, beer, or wine there, and all kinds of food. Okay? Barbecue chicken, ribs, you know, chips, cookies. Come on, man. Don't sit here and tell me. Okay? It says marrying. What is marriage? Sex. People love to have sex at these different parties, right? So marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered in the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. There you go. So during the time of Noah, what mindset were the majority of the people in while Noah was building the ark? They was in a mindset of joy, mirth, partying, sightseeing, have fun, this, that, fourth, and the other. That's the spirit they were in, until one day, the storm clouds formed up in the sky. People saw the lightning flashing, and then the rain began to come down, and that was it for them. By the time they went to go look for Noah, it was too late. He was already inside the ark with the animals, male and female, all of the creeping things, the insects, all of the creatures with him that was commanded to come with him at that time. They were all in the ark with him. And the door to the ark was shut tight. So there was no way, those who banged on the door of the ark couldn't come in, man. They had to suffer their judgment. That's how it's going to be in these times. We see that the flood is getting ready to come again via Jacob's trouble. And what mindset is our people in? They're in the mindset of mirth, partying, sightseeing, clubbing, marrying, giving in marriage, doing everything they were doing during the time of Noah. With that, I'm going to say shalom is on to the next one.